like go back to like the example you gave when you came into the office, and I remember to the meeting you invited to a bigger deal, right? Back to what you was saying, to piggyback on that, the situation you was talking about prior to that, I was invited to that conversation, right? But at that time, I wasn't even ready to even bust moves. But what I try to say is, opportunities don't last; they don't stay. It could come to you right now, you be like, "I'll be back in 2 months." By the time you come back, it's a whole nother game. You're right or wrong? Because by the time we had another conversation, it was like position move.
You're like, I don't know what up here. Right.
Opportunities change. You don't know who came into the game. You saw me by the time I'm ready to play. You know what I'm saying? So that's just it. Like you could lose out on a lot just not being prepared.
Right. And I think another misconception that people have is I don't have enough to start. Like start.
Because you're gonna get them Louis and Fendi shoes. So
that could have been at the start.
Yeah.
Start. Like with my company to invest the microloan, the minimum is $1,000. So I don't know if you know about CDs, but for the listeners or whatever it is, CDs are certified deposits, right? So you put your money in the bank.
What's the minimum?
In a bank, probably like $500.
Yeah.
But if you put in $500, you probably get like a 0.5%, 1/4%. You got to tie your money for like 3 years, whatever it is. And if you pull your money out, usually it's like a 60% penalty. And even if you put in like $250,000, you're only still going to get 2%, right? So nobody that I know who has $250,000 is going to tie up their money for 2 years to only make 2%. You're still losing money if you go back to my point about inflation, right? So I said when I started out the company, I'm going to pay double whatever CDs are, and my penalty is going to be less. It's going to be half. So I'm beating every bank. But the problem was people have faith in me, but they wouldn't even tie up their money in the CD because they're like, I might need my money. But then again, you go back to the spending habits and
come back and take, like he said before, not to cut you off. I remember he was like, yeah, the person didn't want to invest with me, but it's like more or less see me in 2 more years. I'm going to still be moving. You probably still be sitting on that same money. And it's probably going to be short by the time I come back and look at you again. Like,
so what ends up happening is, like I said, I only needed 20 to get into this deal that at the time I thought was a great deal because I'd only been investing in New York. And something that's funny about New Yorkers is people look at the gross, they don't look at the net. And they also don't look at their profit margin or the ROI, the return on investment. So if you were to take, we use a round number, and you had $100,000, all right, let's say we're looking at a condo in New York, right? $500,000 get you, let's say, a 1-bedroom, right? In a decent neighborhood, $500,000. So your rent will be about $2,000 a month, right? We're going to keep it round. We're not going to talk about taxes. We're just going to use round numbers. When you take a mortgage, you have to put 20% down on an investment property. So you need $100,000 to even talk. Not to mention the closing costs and what they call reserves, which means the bank is like, well, if something breaks, you still need money. And that's usually like another 2 or 3%, right? So you need about $130,000 just to even talk about a 2-bedroom where you get $2,000 a month. So at the end of the year, you make $24,000. So how much did you make on your investment? You're like, well, I made 24%. But when you factor in the mortgage being $2,000, you have HOAs, which are homeowners association fees, right? Because you're in a condo, and then you pay taxes, and then you pay tax on the money you made. You probably only walk away with about $200. So now you make $2,400. So in New York, you only make 2% of your money. Where we could take that same $100,000 and we could go to a place like Philadelphia, we can go down to Texas, we can go anywhere else, and you can get a whole building for $100,000 with no mortgage. And then 30-40% of your money. And people are like, yeah, but the rent's only $500. But again, they don't look at the return on investment, where you made $20,000 on your $100, and in 5 years you make your money back. Plus you own an asset. You're not indebted to a bank.
Right.
So it's these little things where people, it's very simple math, but people don't look at it from a certain angle. People are like, I need ownership. I don't always believe in it. I believe in OPM, other people's money.
Question, where would you say is the best city to invest in right now?
It depends on your temperament. So I'll give you an example.
Well, like home properties.
Like if you wanted to live.
because it's different ways, right?
If you wanted to live.
So again, I think it depends on your temperament. I know there's some people who like the South because it has space, and I know other people who don't like the South because it's too slow.
Right.
I know some people who like the West Coast because they like the weather, but they don't like whatever. I personally love the city. Yeah, I personally love the city because I like access to things, but I do own in Texas. So when I want to, I get away. I go out to Texas, I chill out there for a week, and I get bored and I come back. I go back and forth. So it depends on your time period. But I would say a city that's comparable to New York is Philadelphia. Philadelphia, again, you can Google all this, off camera, whatever it is. You can Google city of Philadelphia, and you're talking about a 1,200 square foot house, a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. You could buy for $60,000. So what's 10% of that? $6,000. That's a tax return, and you can own that. And if you didn't want to live there, you could rent that out. You get about $800 or $900.
But this is what I was going to tell you about the rent it out. A lot of people don't have, like you said, temperament to deal with. That don't want to pay rent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of what you gonna do about that?
So
they don't want to pay rent, and that's why a lot of people don't play with that.
So then you come see me.
Bottom rights and all that. No, I'm saying outside of playing in that type of like, playing with like a person that you outside entity or whatever. You just want to do it yourself. You want to go personal and get your own home, like she was saying, right? Like get your own home by yourself. Like if I get it by myself and I rent the downstairs, and this month he don't want to pay his rent. Now he talking about squatters' rights and all that other dumb shit.
I have investors like that, and some of my investors are like, I like the model that you have set up. I want to do it myself, and I say, fine. Then they work with me as a consultant, and I say, this is a good place. This is where you can buy. This is your rent, and I do the numbers for them.
You charge for that?
Of course, yeah, absolutely. And then I say, here, go ahead. Most of them come back and say, look, I want you to do management because for the 10% of the rent that my company will take, it's not worth the time. So again, we'll go back to the row house. You're like, you know what? Birdie, Chanel, right? You're gonna put up 3, you're gonna put up 3, tax return, whatever. We're gonna do this house 50-50. I get you a house, you get $850 a month. For $85 that would come to me, which is a write-off for you, is it worth the time for you to have to go find a tenant, go to a realtor, go out there, then you get the phone call 2 in the morning and say $85 a month? It's not worth it. And then I have my contractors on it. I have everything at a discount rate because we have so much. So if something breaks in the middle of the night, you gotta call a plumber, and he's gonna charge you $150 to come out. Whereas I have my crew together, and he's gonna charge me $25 plus parts. So I charge you $30 plus parts because you're still getting a discount, and then it comes to me, and then you still get the write-off. But because I'm wholesaling, because I have the volume and I can keep this guy busy, I get the better rate. See, it's like joining a union, and that's what all of this comes down to. So again, it's the know-how. I think I'm going back to the point where most people feel like I don't have enough, I don't know enough. But you don't necessarily need to know. You can work with me as a consultant and ask those questions. I have some people who are hands-on and they like it, and they just want to know how to get started, and then they can duplicate it because they have their own construction, they have their own rules. They just want to know what it's like investing in another city. I have some people who are like, listen, I'm retired, my money's only making me this percent, I want to leave something for my kids. You take care of all of it, just send my checks. And they give me carte blanche.
So do you think this is things that parents or schools should be teaching kids at like 9, 10, 7?
Absolutely, but they won't. Because it would
so much money out here. There's money out here.
Because it wouldn't. No, I'm telling you. All right, so I have my own personal beliefs, but I'm saying why I believe that that's not being done. So my belief would be, of course, my daughter owned a building at 10.
See, look at that. Ain't no claps. 10-year-old daughter.
Yeah, my daughter owned a building at 10. I never bought my daughter a birthday gift. I never bought my daughter a Christmas gift. She would get her birthday money, her Christmas money, and I would always give her a deposit. And when she was young, I had pictures of her 4 years old filling out a deposit slip.
Just know my son doing the same thing. He's 9, you heard?
Right? So
you know, we cut from the same.
Yeah, we talk, right? So she deposits that money. Of course, she gets gifts and all that other stuff. So she doesn't need another one from me. And of course, she gets everything she needs from me. It's my daughter. But that mindset and that we're gonna go make a deposit and this is a slip and whatever it is, she was able to build up enough money. And then when she was 10, we started investing out of Philly. And I was like, you know what? She has enough money in the bank. So we had a conversation. I showed you the picture. Like it's on my Facebook page and all that. You see the contract. So I wrote her a kid-friendly contract, and we had a discussion. And I said, listen, do you want to go to work for money? Do you want your money to sit in the bank, or do you want somebody to go to work to pay you money and then you get an allowance? She was like, wait a minute, what do you mean? Because that person said, can I have your money? No. And I said, but what if I can get your money, make you money? Every month you can do whatever you want with a portion of your money. So absolutely. How does this work? So now we have the conversation at the dinner table, which we all can have. We have the internet now, so there's no excuse.
No excuse.
Back in the days, maybe how we were raised, you had to have access to this. But we have the internet. And we have entrepreneurs who put us on. Our generation, we learn from like a Master P, like a Jay-Z, Diddy, where these guys, Suge Knight, how we do this business. But they push the envelope, and they all push for ownership, and they all push entrepreneurship in different venues.
I know we about to go to commercial and all that. Yeah, but look, before we get out of here, first I want to say thank you for coming.
Yes,
for sure.
This is very
Informative.
informative.
About this conversation.
Yes.
Before we get out of here,
If let's say there's 1,000 people who are really tuning in and like, I want to see what's going on, 80 to 90% of them are not going to make a move for reasons that are beyond logic. It'll be fear, it'll be whatever it is. So that little 10%, there's more than enough room for them to do whatever they want. Because the other people are going to pay them rent, or they're not going to make a move. They're just not going to make a move. So, I don't mean to sound selfish, but if you're one of those people who's motivated, and you're one of those people who want to do something else, I'm telling you, it's incredibly easy to own property, to start a business. You don't need money to start a business. Do not believe what people tell you, because most of the people who tell you have never done it, and you're going off of like an urban. You know how much money you start a
the
business?
only thing you
Tell
gotta
me. Tell me.
what's the first thing you need when you're buying a home, right? First thing you gotta check. What is that? Do people know?
Not even, don't say credit.
You gotta check your credit.
No, I'm gonna tell you like this.
Well, if you're not gonna check your credit,
No, I'm gonna give you a fact. I'm
you
gonna
gotta check your
No,
credit.
I'm gonna give you a fact. That's why I'm here. Baby, I'm gonna give you a fact. So there's something called a hard money loan. A hard money loan means if you have a certain amount of cash, they don't even check your credit. There's no credit because it's an EIN. It's a company. It's a corporation.
Okay.
So if we open a corporation today,
Of course, it's gonna be slick ways to get it.
no, but I'm telling you now. I'm giving you one of those slick ways, and that's one of the reasons you come to me.
That's a fact.
Right.
I've got people who don't have a job mortgage. That's a fact. And it's so
Like my son told like
it's
no.
I'm not a genius. I just have access
Not
to
saying
it.
Jesus.
Oh no! I'm not. Definitely not. But I have access to information just because I've gone through those channels and I've done the work. So I give you one last example. When people say, "Oh, I'm gonna do my taxes. I'm not gonna pay this dude $100," or "I'm gonna fix his light. I'm gonna do a DIY." The amount of time and you might as well pay it for it. And you're not gonna do it better than a professional.
Alright, we about to go to commercial.
Sure.
Saying I appreciate
Thank you
AJ,
so much.
Man, you'll plug in your
We definitely
IG,
gonna have a
your
conversation.
website.
Everything. HA Homes US. You Google HA Homes US. You get the website, the Instagram, Facebook. We good. We good.